So, February has been a rather interesting month, hasn't it? To give you a bit of a recap of what exactly went down over the course of February, on the first week, I announced the start of my GoFundMe campaign. Because I had just finished my Bachelor of Arts in Music a couple months prior to that, and I found out very quickly that the job market is in shambles. I talked about this in a previous episode of Snake Stories. And I was eventually growing tired of just filling out applications and then just sitting back and waiting until either a rejection or, worse yet, silence comes back to me. And that's when I decided to pivot into starting this GoFundMe campaign in hopes of pursuing content creation full time. Then the next week, I gave that GoFundMe video a week to breathe. Then I returned to doing stuff on my ordinary schedule the week after that. We are now a month out from when that GoFundMe campaign started, and even though it got about 1% of the way to its initial goal, that's about it. It's nowhere near close to the ultimate goal at the very top. So I'm not going to be leaning on that too heavily from here on. And I hoped that that would be the only time I would have to ask for your financial support. But it's becoming clear to me now that that's probably not the sustainable way to go about it, to just put it out there once and then try to forget about it and not let that happen. I believe I've previously talked about this in Snake Stories as well, but I really don't want to come off as a content creator who just has a dream and is trying to make it. I've been through it all, as evidenced by, the diploma that I have framed on a shelf just over a bit of a ways this way in my room. I'm gesturing at it right now, but you can't see it because this is audio only. But my point is, that's the main reason why I don't really want to continue plugging stuff where viewers can provide financial support through subscriptions or donations or whatever. I don't know. It just feels really weird to ask for money like that, even though I'm pretty much at a point where it has become more important than ever because I'm not in school anymore. But another interesting development that occurred towards the end of February was I did, in fact, get a new day job. Or a night job, as you might call it. It is about 11:20 at the time of me recording this right now because the new job I'm doing is a night crew thing at a grocery store that I work at. And I did specifically seek out night work because I was not about to deal with working with customers again. So I do have a source of income from somewhere, but it's not ideal. It is not by any stretch of the imagination the job that I want to take on long term. So I'm starting a Patreon page. You will start to see me plug that in future videos once it's fully ready, which I think it almost is at the time of recording. I just need to look over everything one more time, make sure everything is within the range that I can do, and make sure that I will continue to sustain that even before I have had any subscriptions come in. So that is sort of a recap of what went down over the month of February. Now, for this episode of Snake Stories, we are in the month of March 2026, and as the title suggests, this is just going to be a little bit about where I've been, where I'm at, and where I'm going. So, let's get into it. Let's start with where I've been. And honestly, it's kind of a weird place at the moment. I got my day job. It's not the one I want, and I'm still looking for something better. I'm trying to continue pursuing this content thing. So far, the GoFundMe campaign to get me the seed money to start this whole content business has really, not gone over as well as I thought it would. I mean, it didn't pick up any significant amount of momentum, which I don't blame anybody for that. I probably should have expected to have to continue mentioning it in order to continue drawing more attention to it. And it wasn't gonna, solve everything straight away, even if it ended up somehow fully funded within a fast amount of time. I'm gonna keep that campaign running just in case anyone wants to do a one-time donation or something of the sort like that, because giving people options to do a single donation only one time is also a very important thing. But I'm going to have to look into other crowdfunding options, which, like I mentioned in the intro of this podcast episode, Patreon will become a thing soon. Now, one of the things I mentioned in that video for GoFundMe was my online course where I would teach musicianship, the art of music. I still really want to do the art of music because, again, music is something that I've been passionate about for a very long time, and I want to sort of try to be one of those people to help others understand the importance of music as an art form, because That's what it has been to me for a very long time. But I'm going to have a lot less time to produce that because I have this day job that I'm now worrying about, as well as all the other content that I'm doing for Snakes Delay OCH, the music I'm making for Stability, and so on. So where I've been has been just trying to get all of that sorted and organized and trying to figure out where I'm going to go from this point onward. And that leads into where I'm at. Where I'm at is a world of uncertainty at the moment. I don't know if this day job is going to be something that I'll be doing for only a few months, if it'll be something I'll do for a few years, if it'll be something that I'll do forever, and my content will just never pick up any significant traction. But I do at least have my desired long-term career trajectory figured out. I said it in my New Year's resolutions when I posted them on Blue Sky that one of my most ambitious goals in 2026 will be to pick up a career in music, content creation, or some other adjacent field. It's been my passion for like more than half a decade, something I want to do long term, and I can just get to, do my thing, express myself, and all of that. Now let's talk about the future, where I'm going. Ideally, nowhere. My hope is that I will still be doing one video a week and one episode of the Snake Stories podcast a week. The month of February was kind of a little bit of a wash because, number one, I had people telling me that they wanted me to give the crowdfunding video a week to breathe, so I did that, and as such, I didn't make any content for the second week of February. And number two, towards the end of the month, things got really busy as I was preparing to start this day job of mine. But now that I've got a schedule settled in, I know what I'm going to be doing week by week. Hopefully that'll give me more time that I can allocate more sensibly to the things that I want to do in keeping this channel and the content under Snake Stileo Productions going. I still need to do the pilot episode for The Art of Music. I think I have the slides almost ready. I have the script ready. I just need to figure out the rest of what I want to do about the formatting. But here's a very important announcement that I'm going to give in this episode of the podcast, as well as in a YouTube post coming up. There are not going to be any more content schedules on Snakes Delay OCH for the foreseeable future. Because when I schedule something that I want to do, as far as like a month in advance, for a given video or live stream on a given week, as time has gone on and I've been doing these content schedules, it has felt increasingly rigid in a way that I don't really like. And because of those content schedules, I have actually missed out on video ideas that I wanted to do because it was a spontaneous idea in the spur of the moment, or it was something that was trending that I wanted to, express my interest in and pick up on. But I couldn't do it because I already had a different video scheduled for that week. And I wasn't going to just keep announcing changes of plans for the things that I wanted to do in the immediate moment. It's frustrating for both me as a creator and for you as a viewer to expect a video to come up on a given week, only for me to suddenly jump in and say, hey, guys, I'm actually going to do something different because of this thing that's trending or this idea that I came up with on the spot. Those are the kinds of surprises that nobody likes. So instead, we're going to leave more of the good kinds of surprises in. And every week when it comes time to make a new piece of content, I'm just going to let the chips fall where they may. I still have an entire spreadsheet of future content ideas, so maybe one week I'll pick something from that spreadsheet and get it together and make that the upload. Or if something happens in a given week that I really want to talk about and make a thoroughly produced video or live stream on, that'll be the thing. So those are some of the big announcements for the future of Snakes Delay OCH and Snakes Stileo Productions. I've got a Patreon on the way. There will be no more content schedules so that I can focus on what I actually want to do in the moment week by week. And now that I have a day job where I know what I'm doing instead of actually endlessly throwing my resume into the void, hopefully this will all result in more better content for you all to enjoy throughout the rest of 2026. I think I have some pretty good ideas cooking that may take some time and some effort and, all of that. Being a content creator is harder than people really think. And you don't start to realize it until you are actually in the position where it could become a job. And it really does turn into a job. You have to plot out schedules. You have to put the work in every single day. I expect to be here at my PC for the next 7.5 hours as I just figure all this stuff out, work on some music for Stability, work on videos for Snakes Delay OCH. After all, I only have tonight and tomorrow night off before I go back to my day job. Then it'll be 11 to 7, lifting stuff until my knees are in immense pain until Saturday, and then it's back to so yeah, that's just the update episode for Snake Stories. Next episode, I have something I want to talk about already. It's something that I think is particularly relevant given recent events, and I look forward to letting you all hear that. So yeah, that'll be about it. This is just the episode on where I've been, where I'm at, and where I'm going. New video coming later this week, or maybe it'll be a live stream. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out because I've been going through all the onboarding and shit for my day job, and now I'm at this point in the episode where my brain is just going in circles, so I think we're gonna end it off here. As always, watch this space for what's going to be coming next. Check out the Snakes DeLeo Discord in the description if you haven't already. That's gonna be where I will be posting a lot of updates on what goes down in my content. And yeah, that'll be about it. If you like the music you've been hearing in the background, that is available on Stability. A link will be in the description, as well as a link to the music in the outro. Thanks for listening, everyone. I will talk to you all later.